Welcome to episode 6 of the Gabriel Bortoleto career mode. We have actually jumped Alpine and VCARB in the R&D chart, and it's also going to be a wet qualifying. And from last episode, we've also gotten our new rival, which is Kimi Antonelli, and we need to beat him to 82 rated, and then we would have won the rivalry. So I won't bore you out with practice, so we'll skip on to qualifying now.
So, we have a wet qualifying for the Spanish Grand Prix, and we're going to go out for our first run here. So, we've actually upped the downforce level on the wings as well, just because of the wet conditions and the fact that I feel like the wings that we were running are quite low, and the fact that we've got a pretty good power unit, I thought maybe we could sacrifice a bit of that straight line speed for some downforce in the corners. But I am completely waffling, and this lap is very, very scruffy. It does not look good. So We'll see where it gets us, but I don't think we will be very high, as we're flicking the wheel. Even to just get the car rotated, I was really struggling with that actually. Even though we had higher wings, we couldn't really rotate the car that well. So going into this corner, we flick it way too much, and we do pull off a really nice drift. But
that was such a nice drift, but obviously that's not going to make me go faster. Might just go for another lap here.
So yeah, thinking about going for another lap, and obviously this lap is not going to get us anywhere near the front, but starting our second lap now, we have got a bit less battery than before, but it should be fine, as we're going into turn 1, braking, and we take too much of the curb and spin it. So that's not great, obviously. And we're going to skip right to the end of the session for another one of our runs. And we actually have a car behind us, so hopefully they don't just pull out for an overtake. But starting the last lap of qualifying, we really need a good lap, otherwise, well, we're going to be dead last. So we need to try and pull something out the bag. And I mean, already we're up, because I think the track was slightly better as well. So we will naturally go faster, as Lando Norris does a 1:22.8, which is really, really quick. As you can just see how much we're flicking the wheel in to just get the car turned in, because if I was to do a more smooth input, there would be no front end initial bite almost, and the car would just not turn whatsoever. So I've been really having to flick the wheel in, especially in these wet conditions. In the dry, it's a bit better, but in the wet, I really was struggling with that. But 1.8 seconds up on our lap time, and we're just gaining through and throughout the lap. So we'll just see where this puts us, and hopefully we can fight for some points.
Yeah, we'll talk later.
So P17.
Yes, not great. P17 for Spanish Grand Prix, and where is Hulkenberg? P15, so none of us did great, to be honest, and yeah, we'll just see what we can do in the race. It's going to be a dry race, so that'll probably help us a bit more, but we'll just move on and hope we can score some points.
So, going into the race, we're starting on the soft compound of tyre, 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go for the Spanish Grand Prix. And as I said, we are starting on the softs because tyre wear doesn't seem too bad. But going into turn 1, we're going to really just send it on everyone. And I actually really didn't mean to brake that late.
Bit dodgy.
But we just completely elbows out, fully Daniel Ricciardo style sending it. And we make up so many positions. We're up into P8 and it's been like 4 corners. Absolutely mental. And we're now on the back of Fernando Alonso and Alex Albon, who are having a little battle together. So we've made up 9 positions on the opening lap, which is amazing. Really, really good.
Ooh.
And as you can see, I go for the biggest lunge of my life, and we do pick up some minor damage.
Yeah, that was from pretty far back, but
I don't know what it was.
Bit of a rash overtake, but sometimes it's got to be done.
Yep, it does have to be done, and for some reason I'm just completely
sometimes
lunging
it just
everyone.
has to be done.
So yeah, on the back of Fernando now. Gonna try stick with him. I don't think it will be possible because of the fact that his car is a lot quicker than ours, but we will try our best, and hopefully the guys ahead can battle so then we can stay in the DRS, but that's not gonna happen, basically, as I'll skip forward actually onto lap 3 where Alonso has completely gapped us, so that idea has gone completely out the water, and we actually need to defend from Albon as he is very, very close to us. So we're gonna just burn everything down this straight because it is very easy to save battery around this track, but Albon to our outside. We're not going to give this place up though. We're going to pinch him towards the curb, force him to back out, and he does. So we remain in P7 thankfully. And yeah, all that battling has increased the gap ahead to 4 seconds. So we clearly don't have enough pace, and as you can see in the bottom right, I have the ERS deployment mode in none. So what my sort of strategy for this race is, I'm gonna have it in none for most of the lap, maybe just the first sector, but then down the straight we're gonna burn everything, and because our engine is really strong we should be able to keep the positions. So that's the sort of plan going into this race, and that's basically what we do for the whole race. So you'll see in a moment what we're doing, but we've got a little gap on Albon, about 5/10, which is the perfect amount basically to keeping him behind, but he does still close up quite a fair bit, and now Albon and Antonelli are both right next to each other. But moving on to lap 8 now, so we've skipped forward quite a bit, and for some reason we actually pulled away from Albon slightly. I think he might have been tussling with Antonelli, so Antonelli actually overtakes him, so we have got a bit of breathing room, I suppose, just for a moment. But we can have a look back on the overtake. So Antonelli goes around the outside of Alex Albon, and look at the train of cars that are just there right behind everyone. It goes all the way down to Esteban Ocon in last place, so it really shows how much we are just holding the pack. And we did have a little breather down that straight. We didn't have to use up too much battery, but Antonelli is caught back up to us very, very quickly, and our team is also wanting us to keep him behind until lap 13. So we hopefully should be able to do that with our little strategy that we've got. But it'll be even better if we can keep the position on him, because we have our little rivalry. So we've got our rating rivalry, and if we finish ahead of him in this race, it should help us bump our rating more and maybe bump his up less. So if that's possible, that could really help us during this race. But he's quite close to us coming onto this straight, so we're gonna really have to try and defend here. But he does get past us, and we are gonna lunge him back. We are gonna keep the position, but we've failed the objective, so that is quite annoying that we've kept the position and we've still done the thing. But it's just the game, innit? Like, you can't really do much about that. But anyway, moving on to lap 10 now, which is when we're pitting. So Antonelli stays out. I think everyone stays out. It's just us making the pit stop, making an undercut, which I thought wasn't actually too aggressive, because we've done 11 laps on softs. So we've done half the race on softs and no one's pitted. So it looks like tyre wear is pretty low. So going on to the mediums for the rest of the race, and we'll see how much of an undercut we can get, because it's important that we stay ahead of Antonelli there, because if we do let him go, I can almost guarantee that he's going to get past us there. So let's see how we do. On to lap 12 now, and people are pitting, and that is Isaac Hadjar, who was just behind Antonelli. He's coming out the pits. We just about squeezed through around the outside, and we keep the position. So that was very vital, as it was definitely going to affect our race negatively if Isaac Hadjar had gotten past us there. So I'm very happy that we kept the position. And let's now see on to lap 13 now, where Antonelli is, and he's coming out on the exit. We've got no battery. Are we going to keep the position? Yes, we do. Swooping round the outside of Kimi Antonelli, and Hadjar even gets him as well. So that's quite nice that we've put a car between us, and hopefully it stays that way, because even though Antonelli is on hards, I would assume he is quicker because he's in a Mercedes, right? That Mercedes is not a slow thing, as we get caught up on the curb a bit there, which doesn't help. But now, going on to lap 22, nothing really happened from lap 13 and lap 22. We were just basically doing the same thing, where we save through the corners, through these corners where they can't overtake, and then just burnt all of our ERS down the straight, and they literally could not get anywhere near us. So this is basically all that happened, right? And thankfully Antonelli hasn't actually gotten past us, not past us, but past Isaac Hadjar. So it was really nice that because we kept him in the DRS, it helped him. So Verstappen also wins the race, by the way. He's completely dominated, and we've also skipped to the final lap of this race. And as I was saying before, Hadjar, by staying in our DRS, was able to stay ahead of Antonelli, which has obviously helped me massively. But coming through the last couple corners of the Spanish Grand Prix, we've had an incredible defensive drive, and we are going to come home for P7.
And that's the end of the race.
Wow.
See you in Parc Ferme.
That,
I should be happy for that, but I'm actually happy, so.
wow, that was one tough race. Whew. I don't think I even talked like the whole race. I was just completely focused on defending. That was a defensive masterclass. That was Checo Perez, Fernando Alonso type defending against Antonelli and Hadjar. And obviously our race start was amazing as well. It was a bit aggressive, but starting from the back, you've got to be aggressive. But that was a really, really good race. And Max Verstappen wins the race. Russell and Norris take up the other 2 podium spots. And Hülkenberg, he doesn't do that well. Only P14 for him, but Franco Colapinto was out of the race. I actually didn't even know that. I was literally had no idea, but apparently he's out. And let's look at the standings now. So we have got overtaken Fernando Alonso, who is our manager in real life, which is nice. And we've gained a few on Hülkenberg, and we are 5th now, as George Russell did get a podium and Antonelli got 2 points. But that was really solid. That was really solid. And we've also got a championship rivalry now with Yuki Tsunoda in the Red Bull. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge, as his car is a lot quicker than ours. But we are 81 rated now, so we are beating Antonelli in the rating rivalry, which is very nice. And we also got more recognition than Hülkenberg, so we do have the second secret R&D upgrade, which is really, really nice. But now then, we shall see which race we have. I believe it is the Austrian Grand Prix for round 7 of the championship, but we'll have a look. And I want to see what upgrades we've got, because I feel like we are lacking downforce quite a bit. So it would be nice to get some downforce on the car, but yeah, that's failed.
Opportunity to show the world why you belong in this sport, and to show me why you belong amongst my very exclusive clientele. That's a joke. I love working with you.
Right, so drive 0 miles. Okay. I'll just quickly do these. But yeah, that's a bit interesting then, that we've got a rivalry with Yuki Tsunoda, who's in a Red Bull, which is quite bizarre, but we have these upgrades, and obviously this one's failed, so hopefully we can get that through with our weekly resources.
Pleased to say that our new parts have come through without any issue, so they'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
As Hülkenberg's already bought it. Okay, thank you very much. And we've now unlocked ERS upgrades because our major power upgrade has come through. So that is absolutely amazing. Let's see which other upgrades come in. So the chassis one, we get some more R&D, and our durability one, I think that has failed, but it's not that big of a deal, is it? So we have actually dropped quite a bit as others have made upgrades, but that is the Spanish Grand Prix, and I will see you all later.